Listen, honey child, I know that it's hard to find somebody to talk to when you're going through. I know it's hard to find somebody to listen without judgment. And sometimes when you're in a dark place, you need sound spiritual advice to help you on your journey. My name is Cherie Stern, and I'm qualified because I care.
Good evening. Okay, I'm qualified because I care. I really
One
do. You know what I'm saying? That's
one
one
reason
reason
why.
why we are here. Okay, because tonight's Transvisibility Talks podcast is on the topic of the T. What's the T in identity, equality, and respect? So I'm just going to go around, and of course, it's the three of us tonight. And of course, if the other guests or if the other hosts are able to make it on, then we certainly welcome their presence and really anyone else because I actually had this idea, OD, that because I think someone hit us up while we were on last week and wanted to speak. And I was like, well, you know what? All you have to do is just click in. You don't even have to have an app. What do you think about something like that?
I think that's good. Again, communication is the key to getting an understanding of this whole topic because people still don't understand. They don't, and they have questions and they might be intimidated. So it might be a forum to just jump in, and this is a welcome, comfortable forum for them to just be themselves and ask questions without any intimidation.
Absolutely. You think so? I'm glad you said that because that's
Hmm.
what I'm trying to create. I want to create a place where, a safe place, where, so do you think that this forum online like this, just, talking with people that care
Hmm.
would be something that people might jump on? I don't know.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
used to have the call in shows. What do you think, Jules? So you
So you
got
got
back there,
back
it's
there
a
just a
Oh
lot
no,
of
I'm
lot
us.
of
sorry.
us.
I apologize. I have a
It's
little
okay.
baby that's sitting here barking at me at this
It's
present
It's
moment.
okay.
But
okay.
I'm very intrigued by it because all my life I grew up knowing that I was different, but I just never knew that I could be all that I wanted to be if that's what I wanted to be. Like if I wanted to be a boy, I didn't know that I could do what other people have done nowadays. So I just had to be happy with who I was. So I just became a stud. So I'm very, very interested in learning about all of this stuff because I believe in equality. You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? We all deserve to have respect. You know what I'm saying?
We
We
do.
do.
And with because of the topic of gender questioning, there's been a lot of trans bashing in the news. There's been a lot of hate. I've seen it. And that was one reason why I even wanted to start the talk show because I wanted to like open up a dialogue, between the trans community, the cisgender community, and there's even people that have a problem with having that label, on it. So there's so many labels, there's so many different identities, So I mean, I think it's a good time to get an understanding of what's going on.
That's right. I'm ready for it.
So how do you think that, OD, let's start with you. Have you had issues? Because I do know of some of our trans brothers and sisters who have had, difficulties with getting jobs, things like that, because of either how they identify or people not wanting to respect how they identify or the job or place of employment having some sort of, you know, dress code or something like that. I can't hear you, honey. I can't hear you. Oh, dang.
Okay, I had it
There
on
you
mute. I had it on
are. Okay,
mute.
there you are.
Actually, working for the state because of the laws that are in place right now, they can't discriminate. So they pretty much respect what I identify as.
Hmm.
Um, they refer to me as Mr. Wilson. They use the proper pronouns. When they don't, because of my name. My name is going to be changed because my name is still government and it's still feminine.
Mhm.
They start off with that, but when I kind of explain that, oh, I'm sorry, and then they start addressing me as Mr. Wilson or he, him, his,
Mhm.
and then they pretty much stay on that because again, it's something that can be sued for. So they're very cautious about crossing that line.
Well, the legal ramifications obviously will keep people in line, but have you had an issue with people just personally not, or struggling with your identity?
Yeah, and in fact, yeah, when I when people look at me, but like straight women, they're interested in me. But when I start speaking, because my voice is still not deep,
Mhm.
there is a little, judgment. They almost feel like they deceived a little bit, and it's like I didn't deceive them, and
Mhm.
um, I've been accused of being of catfishing people. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
because
How's that?
because
That
it's
would
like
be
well, your
interesting.
voice is too soft, or it's like your voice is too soft, and it doesn't match your idea. I can't
Mhm.
help that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
something that I do know that there are some. I do know some guys whose voice is not. Everybody's voice is not heavy.
Right, because I'm listening to you and I'm like you I'm thinking of people like Kevin Hart, his and what's his name? Cat Williams, guys like that whose voices have a, very high timbre, like I mean it would be, that's around the same frequency that I personally hear. I think my voice is deeper than yours.
Now people at my job don't really, they just they just accept who I am. So
Mhm.
I guess they're used to it or don't even make a fuss about it. I'm just OD to them or Mr. Wilson to them, and they don't
Mhm.
they don't really make a big to do about it.
So, but as being a minister and in the community, is this something that you have had to help as far as counseling on or giving some direction to younger? Because we're about the same age, and now you have guys like Trent and younger who are coming up. I mean, do you see that there has been a change from when you were coming up to the way things are now?
Things are a lot easier now. I think because of all the discrimination, the younger generation, though, as far as church wise, they're not going to church, or they're thinking that they can't go to church because of who they are. They're still got that church hurt in them.
Right, that's a whole nother
So
animal.
you need people like Trent to go out. You kind of got to go out or create avenues for them to come in and then introduce them gradually back into understanding religion and
Mhm.
and that God loves them who they are, and building that back up, because again it's so, along with the hurt and the discriminatory and the stuff that's being said, it's layers of walls that you have to break down to get there.
Right.
Can I tell y'all something how I feel about
Please.
that?
Mhm.
Um, I know that how hard it is to be be a lesbian or be a stud or like this opposite or the same sex is like the same sex, and I know how hard it is to go out into the public and try to be yourself, because for so long I hid in the closet and I didn't come out until I told my mom. That was 16 years old. And once I told my mom, I think that was the breaking point for me, where I'm like, this is me. I don't care what nobody feels. So when it came to church and I went into the church as me, I did get discriminated against. But it didn't bother me because I was happy with myself, because I loved myself. So I challenged the fact that I did read the Bible. So I knew you wasn't supposed to judge. But I noticed that that's what was happening in the church house. So I steered away from the church house when I was supposed to be getting a message, right? So when it comes to churches, I'm like, how can you guys say that you are from of the Lord and the Lord sent you this message, but the Lord never sent you messages to condemn me like the people condemn Jesus, right? So why would you cast me out? You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me shy away from the church house, because I was a powerful person in the church house. But that's what took me away. But I have church right here every day when I'm talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Every day I bring God up. Ain't no mystery.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, you are in and of yourself a whole church, so every time a person meets they should meet that spirit, that same spirit everywhere that you go. And so, was somebody saying something? I'm sorry, I took a deep breath, but that's one of the things. What is one of those misconceptions or stereotypes that you guys feel needs to be addressed? Because at my age, and I don't know if I'm just so deeply immersed in my lifestyle that I feel like everybody feels the same way about everything that I do, but it would seem like we, should have done that. No, see, let me get my speech together. Like we should have come a longer way, but we actually have not, we have not come as far as I would like to think that we have.
Here's the problem when it comes to church. First of all, people judgmental. God wants you to come as you are. Let Him do the changing. Number one. Number two,
Right.
I'm okay with me. People have a problem with me. I don't have a problem with people. And my thing is, what I'm doing? How does that affect you? That's not paying your bills. So if you're bothered by me, then you need to check yourself to see what's wrong with you. Because if you're bothered by, I'm just one person. How's it helping you? What I do? Why do you care what I do, or what I'm doing? And as far as church, that's between me and my God. If I'm doing something wrong, then that's between me and Him. You're not the Savior. Church has become, it's doing more harm than good. People are finding more salvation outside of the church than in, and that has a lot to do with the preacher. If you look into the word, and I use this all the time, and I'm not going to get on the Bible thing. No, it's not a spiritual thing, but when he did the sermons, he talked to all kinds of people, and I'm sure there was some lesbians. They didn't know it was lesbian back then. I'm sure there was some homosexuals. They didn't know, because it goes back to Lot. There was a lot of people, murderers, probably thieves in that audience. And it was simply church. It was church where it was, and it wasn't a building, but it was a sermon. A sermon is a sermon no matter where it was. So it was church, some sort of church. And the fact of the matter, he just wanted people to get a message and get an understanding of those messages. That was it. It wasn't sent to judge. This is how you're supposed to live. You can live right. So when people judge that, they forget about there's other things that they're not talking about. Like you can go to divorce. You can go to a lot of stuff. I mentioned stealing. A lot of times people steal. They say, well, I don't steal, but you took something from the office. Maybe it was a pen or a pencil that didn't belong to you. That's stealing. So a sin is a sin. But we don't think about those things. We want to judge this particular generation because it bothers them. So they have a problem with you. And then they want to throw God into it to make that kind of make it okay to have a problem with you, but it's really the wrong idea.
And to put fear in your heart.
Right.
They want to put fear in your. God don't want you to be fearful. God wants you to love. Like this is the world of love, not to be afraid. That's the evil spirit coming on. You know what I'm saying? That's the evil people that want you to be fearful, and that's the reason why we have to come together as an LGBT community and break the cycle. But then I also noticed that we ourselves have segregated. We have put ourselves in a box, and I'm not understanding some of these groups that I get in. It's not about us coming together at all. It's about who can sell what, who can do what, and who can talk about who. And that's not helping the community at all.
Right, exactly. And I've been saying that. I don't understand why there's discrimination within the community when there should be equality within the community. So it's something that it starts at home.
That's right.
It definitely starts at home. That actually is one of the the whole reason for this forum is what can the LGBT community do to create a more inclusive society in the LGBT community? Because if we don't fully embrace each other, and respect each other, then how can we expect the outside world to give us that, that respect?
I think it comes with a lot of people who are in power, a lot of community leaders need to start a discussion and bring everybody in. It shouldn't be this group does this here. Right. It shouldn't be this group meets over here and this group meets over here and this group meets over here. Just have like pride when you have everybody out. Have a forum where everybody is out there from every different genre.
That's right.
And have a hey, let's just have a talk. Everybody's out here. Let's just have a talk and have a representative for everything. Just have a talk and questions. And this is what needs to happen and come together. That's a perfect time because everybody's out there.
Right.
Right.
And then you can do not only Pride here, Pride all over. You got Pride Georgia, you got Pride San Francisco. You got start there at the Pride events when everybody's out there and present it, and then go from there. And then maybe the government will stop criminalizing trans this and trans that, because then it has no power anymore. Because people are like, we're not gonna support that.
Well, that's the thing about it. There's hundreds of laws, well, not laws, but bills that are on the table right now, even here in Texas, that really do pick apart that whole identity and gender thing. It's like the more we seek the identity and equality, the more the law gets stretched out. The devil is in the details.
Right, because
So
they see the gaps. They see that, well, these people are not all together, because what they're saying is you got this people over here. So let's focus on that. They're not even together what they believe in. So let's look at the cracks and let's get in there. And that's exactly what they're doing. It was the same thing with race. Remember when they saw the cracks within the Black community and they started getting in there. The problem is we had powerful leaders coming together that sealed those cracks. And then that became to not be an issue. It's subtly trying to rear its ugly head again, but it's not as powerful as it was back in the 60s. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I mean, I think the 60s, I'm a child of the 60s. I think that of course, that went a long way. There were so many things, to fight against at that time. And so now everything has become so nuclear, and finite, so now we want to, alleviate and eradicate oppression, but at the same time, it's like more oppression is being created just for the fact of people trying to label and make everything that ingredient, when you really should just, I don't know. I don't have the answers. What do you think?
Just live. And I mean, you are who you are. You are who you are. You say God didn't create a mistake. Okay, you don't understand who I am. And I understand that our friend here said that he came out and he just, you got to the point where you just were accepting, you were ready to just be you. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers who don't really know, they're still confused. And I would say they're confused because they're not confused about who they are, but they're confused about which way to come out to people and let people know, hey, this is me. You fortunately found your voice and you found the confidence to say, hey, this is who I am. I don't care what nobody thinks. The problem is there's so many people that are scared because they are intimidated by family members, moms. You wasn't raised like that. I'm going to disown you. And they don't have it. They feel as though that's all they have. So if mom disowns me, where am I going to go? I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be out in the streets. Somebody's going to hurt me. So it goes back to the fear when you it's like when a child's trying to be groomed by a pedophile, they put fear in them. That's why they don't tell. They're not scared,
I also wanted to say about that. You have back in the day, I told my friends what it was. Like, this is what I like, y'all. And then it became the trend. So if we became best friends when we first started doing what we was doing, why can't it be like that internationally? Like, we need to lock arms internationally. And then it doesn't matter what the people that are judgmental say. That's just like, if I don't like a fruit, you don't like a fruit, but that don't mean I'm going to judge you for that fruit that you don't like. So we all need, this is my thing, my goal with this whole LGBT thing is to bring people together. That's my goal. We need to let down the hatred from our family. So we don't need to bring that into this LGBT at all. We need to just show love, embrace each other, celebrate each other, support each other, and build each other. If we do that, man, I'm telling you, it's a power in numbers. And there's a lot of benefits that can come out of that.
Well, the old ways are dying off, and I would say now that the young people now have the power because these are the ones they're the ones electing people in office. The older people are dying off. So the old ways is slowly moving. However, Texas is just still has that Southern mentality of, they kind of got like a bully mentality almost,
Yeah.
like
Well, see,
we take care of our own. We Texas, and they that reaching out. Yes, I would love to see that happen. Like I said, here there's so many people who are just pro South and don't want to deal with. I always say it goes back to the North and the South war because the North won. It's like you still got a problem with the North when after all this time you should let it go.
right.
There shouldn't even be no beef if we all are the same, because we're all from the same the group. So our groups we should lock arms and step together. Like we demand respect, and we're not going to play. Just like the Martin Luther King, he marched. If we believe in the LGBT community, we need to march together. We don't need to be jealous, because jealous is a sickness. We don't need to be envious of the next person that's getting it. We need to go find out how they got it, and let's get it together. You know what I'm saying? I'm so powerful about this.
Not only that, we can do that. It's like even housing. I think about how many people have apartments, but think about we should be homeowners. We think about the money that we make. We pull together, and one person knows how to get a home, and I'm gonna help you get this home, and you help this person get this home. Look how many people could be homeowners instead of apartments. So we're making other people rich, and we can become homeowners and have some assets and have some pride within ourselves and establish something instead of just being in an apartment and dying with nothing.
Yeah, establishing that generational wealth. I think that is because, that's a mindset change. That's one thing that Jules and I have been definitely working on, with our businesses, is that it's a transformation of mindset. I think that a lot of times, when people don't have that generational, um, that establishing generational wealth, if people don't have children, then or something like that, they feel like, okay, so then life is just going to end with me. But life doesn't have to just end with you. The thing about it is you are the seed, and what you plant here, what you put out, into the world is your legacy, and so you can establish, if you establish a legacy of love, that's going to, you know, reach further than just your, you know, however many years it is that you have here on this earth. That legacy of love and change and helping people to transform. I'm all about even just transforming by the renewing of your mind,
Right,
and that's going to take anybody to a whole new level as far as their identity is concerned.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So this question then comes up, what are some of these challenges associated with being visibly trans? Because like we said, we're looking at this at the standpoint of the children, the younger ones, and I'm not saying children, I mean the younger people that are coming up behind us. And yes, we have to be out here for things like the Trevor Project for, questioning young people and their families and being able to establish a legacy for them to support and protect them who choose to be out and proud. Because who's to say who can hang an identity on someone who's trans? It's so fluid at this point.
Mhm. The challenge being visibly trans again is the discrimination. Support and protect. First of all, I think some of it, to be devil's advocate, some people even on the trans woman side misrepresent. And I say that to, if you're going to flirt with men, so to speak, it's not really a good idea to tell a guy that you're actually a girl when you still have the anatomy of a male.
Mhm.
Number one, you got to understand that men are going to be men. They're,
That's a big debate.
they
That's one of the main debates in the
so,
community.
so be yourself. I mean, if you're gonna, if you like a guy, be upfront. I understand that's the same as with a woman having a choice of being manipulated and not. Be upfront. They might even like you,
Mhm.
but don't lie. Just be upfront. Same with the trans guy. Be upfront. Hey, this is what I am. You don't want to tell a woman you're a guy and you're a trans. You are. We are. Let her make that decision. Let him make that decision. Number one. A lot of these murders are mainly out of rage because these people have been deceived.
That's right.
And it's a mental thing for a guy to, I'm not gay. I'm not. Even if they're down low, the mere fact that it's a challenge that I thought I was with a woman and I'm not, or I thought even with a woman I thought I was a man and I'm not. It's a mental thing and it's a anger thing. So they're really not trying. It's just out of anger.
But you also got to think about it another way, because what if the guy is on the down low,
Right.
and he gets exposed, and now he's taking his anger out on the person? It's still not okay. Either way it goes. So we want our people to look, keep it real with them on your end, because they're gonna mess with you regardless. Give them the option.
Right.
Okay, I choose to do this because you look good and you're what I want, and let that be that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, and that's one of the things, as far as transphobia, things like that is concerned, is that, people feel like there's a layer of deception, but, it's like, who are you deceiving yourself? Because, we used to, excuse me for being flippant with it, but we used to watch, the whole Jerry Springer reveal, and we would be like, "How did you not know? How did you not know?" But but then there is still, we're still talking about the way a person looks. We're still to think, you can't really hang a label on anybody just because of the way they look, just because of the way they dress, even just because of the way they act. But then you have this bashing and transphobia. I've seen it real heavy, and I guess if it stands out to me, I've seen straight women that have been very, very vocal, coming out very, very strong and hard against trans women, you know, for not just that part of it, as far as not, leading with, hey, I'm a trans woman, but the whole, they saying they've taken their man, or that they present an unrealistic, look of how a woman is supposed to look or something like that, because makeup and all of that kind of thing.
Or
But
it
that,
could be that they're pleasing the guy
mhm.
in every avenue that woman isn't or not willing to do. You
That part, like, we don't know. We can talk all up under the
yeah.
covers or whatever the case may be, however it is, but there's so many reasons that people give to, to have a problem.
There's always going to be something.
Mhm.
So the solution is you can't people want what they want. You
Mhm.
can't make a person. It was the same with white women. They didn't like black men. The white women was taking all the black men. I mean, men gonna do what they want to do. I mean,
Right.
so now it's the
Well, it always got to come down to that.
it's always gonna be something taking something. But my thing is, it's your preference. I mean, whatever's for you is for you. Whoever's for you is for you. I mean, that's just the way it is. You got some brothers who are with you that are down low. They're sleeping with men. You will never know that because you married to a husband. You really married to somebody on the cool. He sleep with another man. Like I said, you'll never know, but it is what it is.
Right. Well, let's tackle this last little question here. Why is it important for trans people to be visible in media, politics, and other spaces? I was actually just been binge watching this show called Texas 911, and there is an F to M cop on that show, and that they dealt with the subject matter of him, uh, reaching out and dating a straight woman and revealing himself to the straight woman as who he was, and then, a very genuine reaction. And I don't think that it's straight women, and I believe even in the LGBT community among lesbian women, where there may be that pushback to fully accept a trans man, you know, in the fullness of his light.
I think it's important because it gives the pride of, it's the same as we had a woman vice president. Well, everybody was proud because we got not only a sister, but we got a woman in the White House. It's
Mhm.
just a pride thing. So it's the same in the media, that it gives the idea that there's somebody to look up to. If that person can do it, I can do it. We don't have many people to look up to anymore. I say now, when I was growing up, we had Barbara Jordan. A lot of people don't know who Barbara Jordan was, but my mother wanted us to model how she spoke so
So,
eloquently. And my mother said, "You see how she talks? Well, you talk like that. And you see how she was a very strong, powerful Black woman." And
right,
my mother said, "That's who you want to be. You want to be strong and powerful, and just her voice commands attention. And
right.
you need to watch and listen to her."
Unbossed and unbothered. Oh, is
Yeah.
it unbossed and unbought?
So you don't see a lot of Barbara Jordans
Right.
anymore. Even Barbara Walters. You don't see strong women like that.
Mhm.
Even Oprah, strong women like that who did something.
Right.
There's not a lot left. So you need people who are out. You need people who are in
And those
politics.
women, surprisingly, or not, were actually fully in their masculine energy.
Mhm.
I believe, even not unlike myself, probably perfectly balanced on both ends. And really and truly, that's how, you know, um, more than half of us are. And it's whichever aesthetic you decide to fall upon, as to where people start to judge you.
Mhm.
Because I really believe that, at least two-thirds of us are in our masculine and feminine energy, and balanced in the two.
And see, for a long time, a strong Black woman was, men didn't want a strong Black woman because you
Right.
were taking a masculine role.
Mhm.
Now it's accepted you want a strong Black woman because it's a strong Black woman that's behind some of these powerful men.
It's not even accepted. It's not that it's accepted, it's expected,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And I
Well,
think that, go ahead,
I
Jules.
apologize. My apology. I was going to say that a lot of men nowadays are weak. They go behind the woman that has to be strong to take care of her home when it should have been the man taking care of the home, whether it's trans man or regular man. They have become like I don't know. See, if you're a trans man, let me ask you a question. Are you violent towards your significant other?
No.
Do you try to copy and paste the ways that a man carries himself, like
A
in a
toxic
negative?
man.
Yeah, toxic man.
No.
Okay, see, what I respect about your gangster, well, what you doing, is the fact that you living in your truth. You're not trying to be like the next man. You have developed into your own. You understand? That's unique. Like, and the men nowadays are so weak. They're selfish. They want for themselves, and you gotta be a strong woman if you're a single mom, right? Men running the street. Go ahead.
I'm still my parents taught me, and my brothers, that you take your home, whatever you do. I'm gonna say whatever you do in life, be good at it. Just be your best at it. So she said, if you're gonna be a hoe, be a good hoe. you know. So I was taught to take your home. So if I'm going to be the man of the house, I'm going to take your home. That doesn't mean that you're going to be submissive to me. That means we're going to be a team. The bills are due. I'm going to take care of the bills. Hey, if I can't take care of it, you're going to take care of it. I can't take care of it. I can't take care of it. We got each other. We're a team. We're going to build this together.
That's
We're going
right.
to work. We're going to raise the
Motto.
children together. I can wash a dish. I can cook a meal. You come home from work. If I get here first and stuff needs to be prepared, you get here first. We work together. We grow together. We fall together. It's a team. And my parents were a team. It wasn't dad. He did work. Mom stayed home and cooked. Mom went to work, and we never wanted for nothing. We never missed a meal. Never wanted for nothing. Went to good schools, got a good education. So I was blessed, but they worked together as a team.
Well, there's so many different ways that we can go with this conversation, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it on up because, we're going to be doing this every week, okay? And it's just an opportunity to open up the dialogue, to put it out there, and to talk about these things because there are, I want to talk about if anybody's out there and knows anyone, I want to talk about the whole debacle that they have going against stuff like the drag queen story hour, things like that. Like, what's the big deal about that? I really want to talk about that because one woman that actually had an issue, a drag queen that had an issue with the drag queen story hour is an actual cis female. She just likes to dress up as a drag queen and read stories to the children. And so it's like those things. Like, what is it that we call ourselves shielding our society from? By trying to make everybody look the same and be the same and act the same when there's so much beauty and variety out here, so many different unicorns and fairies and, people that are so unique and created by God, but the societal norms and things like that and legislation and worrying about who's going to the bathroom at the same time. Those are the things that really keep us from expressing ourselves in all those wonderful different ways. So y'all, we gonna wrap it up. Is there anything I want to say, or we'll just see y'all next week?
I want to say that what you're describing is fear. And that's just a simple word, fear. And there's fear there. There's not supposed to be fear there. There's nothing to fear, but that's what that is. But we'll talk about it.
And I wanted to say, because I am so locked in with helping people, I'm like a life coach. If anybody wants to talk about fear and how they overcome fear, my name is Jules Charlton. You can inbox me on any type of social media platform, and I'm here for you. Let's go. I'm ready to help.
Okay. I was looking for your flyer. Is it in here anywhere? Let me just run this real quick, and then we'll just show with that. Okay.
Yes, it is. And I will be performing live July 7th, July 8th in Hollywood, Florida. I am an entertainer, life coach, parent. Oh no, I don't know what that is. We about to tear the house down. We finna tear the house down. It's all right, little discrepancy. But yeah, I'm gonna be tearing the house down. I'm looking forward to all my LGBT, teammates, family. Y'all pop out. If y'all can't come to this one, there will be more. I cannot wait to see y'all. Y'all gonna see it. If you don't see it live, you gonna see it because I'm about to flood the internet with it, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Yeah, this is a big deal. I paved the way, and I'm trying to get all my people.
Florida.
Yes, come on down.
We might have to make a trip out to Florida.
I'm telling you, come on.
You ready to? Because I'll send you the link. Ready. Don't play no games because we can get real live right here.
Let's jump on flights and hotel.
I can't wait to meet y'all.
Well, look, until next time, I will see you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Fucking my poster, say now. They be lost in the sauce. Took a loss, that's your loss. Had to give up the cross. Heard them lasers talking, now that we don't pay that no mind. We didn't need to watch all that.